9 months in jail as a teenage criminal. Decades later, the youngest judge Michigan ever elected. Judge Greg Mathis built his empire on accountability, preaching loyalty to millions on television. For 40 years, his marriage to Linda stood unshaken. No scandals, no drama, just rock-solid proof that love survives fame. Then 2024 hit. Divorce papers filed. A marriage everyone believed in suddenly destroyed. What really ended it shocked everyone. And what happened next? Nobody saw it coming. Greg Mathis was born in the heart of Detroit, raised by his mother, Alice Mathis, a devout Seventh-day Adventist who worked brutal hours as a nurse's aide and housekeeper. In 1964, she moved her 4 sons into Herman Gardens housing projects, a place where violence and drugs eventually forced them to leave by 1970. Alice fought back through discipline, faith, and relentless work. She pulled double shifts, left her boys alone in dangerous neighborhoods, and never missed church. But the streets were louder than any sermon. By 17, Mathis was deep in trouble. Purse snatching, breaking and entering, robbery. Then came the concealed weapons charge that landed him in Wayne County Jail for 9 months. While incarcerated, his mother visited with devastating news. She had colon cancer. The judge overseeing his case offered a stark choice: earn a GED or stay locked up. Mathis was granted early probation, and shortly after, he made a promise to his dying mother. That promise became his anchor. After his release, Mathis flipped burgers at McDonald's just to stay employed and compliant. A family friend helped him enroll at Eastern Michigan University, where he discovered a passion for politics. He joined the Democratic Party, organized protests against apartheid in South Africa, and wasn't just studying government, he was practicing it. But his real breakthrough came in 1988. At just 28 years old, Mathis orchestrated one of the biggest political upsets in Michigan history, managing Jesse Jackson's presidential campaign to a stunning primary victory over establishment favorite Michael Dukakis. This wasn't volunteer work. Mathis proved himself as a serious political strategist, a kingmaker before he ever wore a robe. With a degree in public administration, Mathis worked for Detroit's city council and later joined Mayor Coleman Young's administration. When Young retired in 1992, Mathis shifted to practicing law, defending young adults who reminded him of his former self. But when he applied for his law license, his criminal record became a wall. Rather than accept defeat, he challenged the decision all the way to the Michigan Supreme Court and won. In 1995, at just 34, Greg Mathis became the youngest judge ever elected in Michigan history. The community elected him not despite his past, but because of how far he'd come. When Judge Mathis launched in 1999, it became one of television's longest-running court shows. Unlike Divorce Court or The People's Court, which cycled through hosts, Judge Mathis never changed. Same judge, same production. When Judge Judy ended in 2021, Judge Mathis became the longest-running active court show with its original host intact. But Mathis never abandoned Detroit. In 2009, the city renamed a street Mathis Avenue, a permanent tribute to the kid from Herman Gardens who came back. Mathis married Linda on June 1, 1985, long before fame entered the picture. Together, they raised 4 children: Jade, Kamara, Greg Jr., and Amir. When his youngest son, Amir, already an Emmy-nominated producer who'd founded his own production company, pitched a reality show, Mathis was skeptical. But Amir made a compelling case. Their family wasn't built around chaos. All 4 children were grown professionals navigating real challenges. Mathis laid down one rule: no fighting, no screaming, no toxic behavior. Mathis Family Matters became a rare display of Black love, stability, and success without manufactured drama. The show revealed real substance. Greg Jr. had spent nearly a decade in Washington, D.C. as a political senior advisor, advocating for LGBTQ+ mental health services and the National Suicide Prevention Hotline. When he publicly came out on the show, it wasn't for ratings. It reflected the family's genuine journey toward understanding. By October 2024, Judge Mathis proudly attended his son's wedding to Elliot Cooper in Cabo, showing the evolution of a man who once worked the streets of Detroit
into a father celebrating all his children's paths. Not everything was smooth. In 2006, Mathis noticed his daughter Jade struggling at college. Days in bed, windows closed, unexplained crying. He pushed her to get help, leading to a diagnosis of clinical depression, ADHD, and learning disorders. Instead of hiding it, Jade turned her struggle into a mission. She founded the Resilient JEM, created a viral testimonial video that inspired millions, and partnered with the National Institutes of Health to fight mental health stigma. Meanwhile, Kamara and Linda launched She Social, bringing together women across generations for empowerment and sisterhood. These weren't photo ops. Then came the allegations. In 2019, Mathis allegedly got into a heated confrontation with a valet outside Flood's Bar and Grill in Detroit after waiting 40 minutes for his Rolls-Royce. Sources claimed he spat on the worker. Mathis strongly denied it, saying he only raised his voice. In December 2024, a Los Angeles city worker named Ricardo Acosta signaled plans to sue over an alleged July 2023 confrontation, claiming Mathis threatened him with a gun. Mathis's legal team called it an extortion attempt. The LAPD never investigated. But these incidents weren't what ended his marriage. In August 2024, after nearly 40 years together, Linda Mathis filed for divorce. Court documents listed July 17th as the official separation date. The reason? Irreconcilable differences. Fans were stunned. Just months earlier, they'd posted photos from Cabo, kissed at public events, and traveled through Europe aboard Magic Johnson's yacht with Michael Jordan and Samuel L. Jackson. Nothing seemed wrong. Rumors exploded. Cheating allegations, secret baby claims, but there was no proof. When TMZ caught Mathis at LAX, he took full responsibility. No double life, no secret child, just neglect. He admitted Linda had slipped down his priority list, sometimes coming after work, community commitments, and social life. When production moved from Chicago to Los Angeles in 2023, he'd promised more time at home. That promise went unfulfilled. Even after separation, they lived under the same roof. Mathis wasn't ready to let go. By November 2024, reconciliation was underway. In October 2025, they sat down on the Tamron Hall show. Linda explained she'd neglected herself for too long. The emotional separation lasted just 3 weeks, but the work was intense. Linda described their current chapter as joyful and continuously improving. By July 2025, a photo of them kissing in New York City went viral. Their son, Greg Mathis Jr., told reporters the family was in a good place. They didn't ignore the cracks. They faced them, choosing daily to rebuild. If their story moved you, like and share. Thanks for watching.